This is why people fade and how to stop it. I have a buddy who is in sales. He's a manager and got his staff on a sales program. They all went from 34 to 45, near six figures. Some of them toppled that. They were all excited. But this was about 6 years ago. He told me the story. And then once they hit six figures, they said the sales training worked. He goes, no, we got to keep doing this. It's the same thing. Because, obviously, he said the same thing that can get you from 45 to 90, or 55 to 110, or 34 to 86, or 95. That's the same program that can get you higher. It's just your improvement slows down. And he and I had this conversation. When you first start lifting weights, you get very strong very fast. You're not going to be bench pressing 9,000 pounds in 5 years. You're not going to be bench pressing 600 pounds in 2 years. You might have doubled your strength in 2 months, but that's not going to happen again then 2 months later, right? The first time you start dieting, you lose a bunch of weight right away. Then it slows down. It's called life. It's just how it is. So I think why people fade is when they get into the part of it where it becomes a grind and their improvement slows down to more incremental steps. That's when they get discouraged and say, I gotta find something else. Find what? This professional trainer took you from benching 130 pounds to 170 in 2 months. Why don't you just be cool, right? This guy's the man. Do exactly like he says. So my buddy had salesmen. One of them, he goes, Nikki, was annoying, but the dude was good. He said his highest year when he was having the store, he made $264,000. And all these people in the office were like, what happened? And they're like, he's stuck with the program, right? Only one guy out of 7 stuck with the program, because the same program that can take you to the moon can take you to Mars, but it's going to take longer to get there. And I think that's what we need to realize as an athlete is you're going to slow down. Your improvement's going to slow down a little bit, right? But if you're on track, then you're in a position where you feel like, hey, this is the answer, this is the way. Look how far I have come. Holy cow. Stay right there, double down, triple down, maybe start engaging in more micro training, right? Micro training is the little things that you can do, right? Little things you can do. Stretching for 10 minutes after practice. You'd be amazed. You might give up 6 less takedowns this year just due to being more flexible, right? That's micro training. You might start to tweak your diet a little bit. Sometimes it gets to be more tedious to where these small things come into play. An artist, when he's knocking chunks of granite off of a block, within 3 days, it starts to look like a sculpture of a horse. You're like, holy cow. 2 years later, that guy's still filing and chiseling. Well, not chiseling, he's scraping, right? With little needles and polishing and using a little brush. So, it took him 2 or 3 days to let you know what he was doing, but to make that sculpture into a work of art, it took another couple of years. I think our wrestling careers are a lot like that too. But if you find someone who can help you and they'll help you to sculpt your wrestling career, you want to plant roots, live there, sure, spend time looking around. Don't chase the idea fairy, but you might say, hey, I'm going to listen to some Cael Sanderson interviews. I'm going to check out this coaching clinic, or, maybe a famous college wrestler has a camp, 45 minutes away. You're like, dude, we're going to go there. It's on a Sunday. Let's go see. You're driving home. Let's just pretend it wasn't very good. You're like, that's okay, right? You got something out of it. When I listen to a new book on tape, I'm not looking for every word to change my life. I'm looking for one phrase and say, man, that is good. That's helpful to me. And what happens in wrestling, when you're no good, everything everyone says is helpful because you're no good. So, you can't always just say, well, that college coach, his clinic wasn't really that helpful. Well, it was, right? Go to 4 or 5 more, and one guy says one thing that changes your wrestling career. right? Just a phrase, or maybe they show you a trick, or they give you a little tactic. You're like, dang, that's it. The best thing I ever learned wrestling, I was wrestling with John Smith when I was in college. He taught me about how to keep my weight forward. We call it 60% of your weight on your front foot. He's like, you want to wrestle off of a lead, Nick? Type with me, because I feel like I weigh 180 pounds. And he was only 142, I think. And I will tell you, that changed my whole wrestling career. I was like, people stood him up all the time. I never stood him up once. If John wanted to train, I did. I would stay there all summer. I'd go home early from Christmas, tell my mom, my girlfriend, hey, I got to go back, right? I got to go train with John. Because, usually I got a beat down, but there was a few times he shared little pieces of advice with me, or wrestling tactics and tricks, or he hit me with something and I stored that away. Kind of career changing, right? So you're looking for those too whenever you get to be at the near the top of the mountain. You're looking for those little things, and sometimes you have to hit 5 months worth of practices, and then boom, you finally have a breakthrough moment, or an aha moment, or something clicks, and your whole wrestling career changes. So there's my tips on fading and how not to fade and why people fade. It's probably good for coaches to watch too. And we wish you awesome success. We have a lot going on. If you had any interest, you can look at purlerwrestling.com. And otherwise, we wish you awesome success. Good luck.